village slept early, wrapped in silence and dust, as it always had. Only one house still glowed with a soft, trembling light. Inside, an old woman sat near the window, her back bent, her hands wrinkled with years of work. Everyone called her Dadi. She had lived longer than most stories in the village. Her eyes had seen droughts, floods, hunger, and hope. Her voice, though weak now, carried warmth like a mother's embrace. That night, children gathered around her for the last time. They could feel it. Daddy's breath was slow. Her hands shook as she reached for a small oil lamp and placed it between them. "Come closer," she whispered. "I will tell you one final story." The children leaned in, their faces glowing in the lamp's light. "Long ago," Dadi began, "this village was rich in hearts, not in gold." She paused, coughing softly. People shared what little they had. No one slept hungry, and no one felt alone. Her eyes drifted toward the door, as if looking into the past. "But then fear entered our homes," she continued. "Fear of loss, fear of poverty, fear of trusting each other." The children listened silently. One by one, doors closed, hands stopped giving, and the village grew poor in ways money could never fix. A tear rolled down Daddy's cheek. "I was young then," she said. "I watched neighbors turn away from neighbors." She lifted her trembling hand. "But there was one night I never forgot." The lamp flickered. A traveler came to the village during a storm, cold, hungry, and weak. No one opened their door, Dadi whispered. No one, except one poor woman. The children's eyes widened. That woman had only a little bread, enough for herself and her child. Dadi smiled faintly. She broke the bread in half and fed the stranger. Thunder echoed outside the next morning. The storm passed, the traveler was gone. Dadi's voice softened, but something changed. She leaned closer. The woman's fields grew green when others dried. Her child grew strong when others fell ill. The children held their breath. "People called it luck," Dadi said. "But it was not luck." Her voice grew firm. "It was the reward of a giving heart." Silence filled the room. Dadi looked at the children. "One by one this village forgot that lesson," she said. "And that is why it suffers." Her breath grew shallow. "I may not live to see it change," she whispered. "But you can." She reached for the lamp and gently pushed it toward the children. "Carry this light," she said. "Not in your hands, but in your hearts." The children felt tears rise in their eyes. "Share when it hurts," Dadi continued. "Trust when it feels dangerous. Give even when you think you have nothing left." Her hands slipped from the lamp. That night, Dadi closed her eyes for the last time. The village awoke to silence. News spread quickly. People gathered outside her house. They cried not just for Dadi, but for the wisdom they had ignored. Something strange happened that day. A child gave bread to a beggar. A neighbor opened his door. A woman shared water from her well. Small acts but powerful. Days passed. The village slowly changed. Fields began to bloom again. Laughter returned to the streets. Doors stayed open. People spoke of Dadi's story. They realized her last tale was not a story at all. It was a warning and a gift. Years later, a traveler passed through the village. He asked, "What changed this place?" An old man smiled and pointed to the children playing. "One night," he said, "an old woman reminded us who we were, and though Dadi was gone, her story lived on."